So welcome back to part 1 of the creativity series and to day 3. Now, depending on how you'd like to use your newfound creativity, you may be looking very early on for signs that something's happening, that the meditation is starting to work. I'd encourage you as much as possible to really give this a few days. I think creativity is one of those, a bit like meditation itself, it's something that you can't really make happen. It's something that is inherently spontaneous. So allow the mind to change slowly and in its own time. And I think in that way you'll see the best results. So without trying to force it in any way at all. And as you're doing the visualization itself today, try just pausing momentarily in different places to see the difference in feeling. So, for example, when you followed that light up the left leg, maybe just pause just for a second or two to notice how that leg feels differently from the right leg. Again, even though this is a mental exercise, there's still a very clear, definite, physical impact. Sometimes you'll be able to feel it very clearly, sometimes it might be a little bit more subtle. But either way, there's a definite shift in the way the body feels as well as the mind. So just take a moment now just to settle both the body and the mind. Remember, set yourself up in the chair so that you have that balance in the body that you're looking to cultivate in the mind. A sense of focus, alertness on the one hand, and yet at the same time a sense of ease and relaxation. And with the eyes gently focused, just take a moment or two to take some deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. As you take just a minute or so to become more aware of the physical senses and your immediate surroundings. And then just bringing the attention back to the body now. Noticing whether there's a sense of stillness or restlessness in the body today, a sense of heaviness or lightness. And just to get a clearer picture, starting off at the top of the head, just scanning down, noticing where the body feels uncomfortable in some way and where the areas of lightness and spaciousness lie. At the same time, just starting to become more aware of the emotional tone or quality of mind right now. More aware of your motivation for actually doing this exercise today. Remember, the clearer your motivation, the easier you'll find it to sit on a daily basis. And as part of that motivation, hopefully already you're starting to consider, reflect on how taking this short period of time out each day can start to have a real impact on the people around you in your life. Knowing that as you do the exercise today, it's about stepping back and just watching the visualization as it unfolds. With that in mind, just resting the attention now on the breath, on that rising and falling sensation. And just taking a minute to be clear where in the body you feel that movement, and becoming a little bit more familiar with the rhythm of the breath. So having focused on the breath in that way, now just shifting the attention above the head Imagining that steady stream of sunlight, of warmth, just flowing down through the top of the head, down into the body, down the left-hand side of the body, down the left leg, into the foot, and now just watching as it fills up one toe at a time, as it fills the foot, the ankle, and as it travels up the leg. Again, bringing with it that sense of warmth, vitality, just melting away any tension as it moves up towards the hip and the pelvic area. It continues to flow down through the top of the head, down through the body, now traveling down the right side, right leg, right foot, as you just watch as it begins to fill each toe, the foot, the ankle. It travels up the leg, past the knee into the upper half of the leg, and up towards the hip and the pelvic area. And still it continues to flow down, now starting to fill up the trunk of the body. So noticing how the lower back begins to soften, any tension in the stomach begins to unwind as the body's just filled with that sense of warmth, spaciousness up towards the diaphragm, the middle of the back. The chest, the shoulders, and still it continues to flow, this time down the left-hand side of the body, the left arm, and just watching as one finger at a time is filled with that sunlight, the hand, the wrist, the forearm, all the way up through the arm, up into the shoulder, and down the right side, the right arm, the right hand. And just watching as one finger at a time fills up the hand, the lower half of the arm, all the way up through the shoulder joint. So everything from the neck downwards is very clear, very light. And yet still it continues to flow, now travelling up through the neck, the throat, to the head. So jaw softens, the muscles in the face, around the nose, the eyes, the forehead, all the way to the very top of the head. Still it continues to flow, but there's a feeling as though the body is just constantly being replenished, that any discomfort, any tension is just dissolved in that sunlight, leaving a very clear and spacious state of mind, just resting the mind in that space, still aware of the breath, even counting the breaths if you find it easier, but just noticing what it's like to rest the mind in that space. And now just letting go of any focus on the breath, on the feeling, or anything else at all. Just letting the mind do whatever it wants to do. And then just gently bringing the attention back to the body. Back to the physical sensations in the body. Back to any sounds. And any other strong physical senses that might be around. And in your own time, you can just gently open the eyes. Be clear in the mind about how the body feels, how the mind feels after having done the exercise. And just prioritizing that in the mind, knowing how good that is to take that time out each day. And having been clear about your intention to be aware throughout the day today, you can just sit back in the chair and have a stretch. And hopefully you notice today just how little effort is required for visualization. It's amazing. It's as though once you've done this exercise a few times, it's as though it's just a memory, and it very easily comes to mind, the image, and it's as though you're just sort of watching it happen. It has an immediacy, the feeling, the quality that it brings about, and yet it's so natural and so easy. Again, if you've never done anything like this before starting the creativity series, then don't worry if it's taking a few days to get used to it. That really is quite normal. After a little while, this usually becomes people's favorite meditation, so hang on in there if you're finding it a little tricky to begin with. For those of you that have already settled into it, start to look throughout the day for those little moments when you can just remind yourself what it feels like during the meditation. And simply remembering what it feels like will usually bring about that same state of spaciousness, which is the foundation for creativity. And the amazing thing about it is it takes no effort at all. Simply in remembering how it felt, that feeling comes back again.